The night air under the Jefferson Bridge was cold, heavy, and full of echoes. Jordan Johnson pulled his torn hoodie tighter around his shoulders as cars thundered above him. He hadn't eaten a proper meal in 2 days. The sound of rainwater dripping from the concrete ceiling was the only rhythm that kept him company. Around him, a few other homeless people huddled near a weak fire in a rusted barrel. Jordan stared at the city lights in the distance, Atlanta, glowing like a dream he could touch but never reach. Once, he had an apartment, a job, and a fiancée named Nicole. But life had turned its back after the pandemic hit. He lost his job as a construction worker, then his apartment, then Nicole. "It's not you, Jordan," she had said. "I just can't live like this anymore." Those words haunted him. He sighed deeply, pulling a soggy piece of cardboard closer. On it, he had written, "Just need a second chance." But no one stopped anymore. Not at night. Not for him. Then, a soft voice broke the silence. "You okay out here?" Jordan turned and saw a woman with coffee-colored skin, wearing a thick coat and a gentle smile. She held a paper bag. "I brought sandwiches," she said. "My name's Tasha." Jordan hesitated, pride fighting hunger. But his stomach growled louder than his ego. "I'm fine," he muttered, then added softly, "Thank you. I mean, I'll take it." Tasha smiled, handing him the bag. "You don't have to stay under here forever, Jordan. Tomorrow, come to the Jefferson shelter. Ask for me." Jordan looked at her. She said his name though he hadn't told her. "How do you know my name?" he asked, startled. "I've seen you around for months," she said softly. "You look like someone who still believes he can get up again." That night, Jordan didn't sleep. He just stared at the stars through the cracks of the bridge and whispered, "Maybe, just maybe, this is my last night here." The next morning, Jordan did something he hadn't done in months. He followed Hope. He walked to the Jefferson shelter, his old sneakers soaked from puddles. Inside, the smell of coffee and detergent filled the air. Tasha was there, sorting clothes. When she saw him, her eyes brightened. "You came," she said. "Yeah," Jordan said awkwardly. "You said to ask for you." She nodded. "We can start with a shower, clean clothes, and some food. Then we'll talk about work." Jordan blinked. "Work? You mean like a job?" Tasha smiled. "Everyone deserves a second chance, remember?" He showered, shaved, and looked in the mirror. For the first time in a year, he saw a man again, tired, but still standing. When he came out, Tasha handed him a sandwich. "Turkey and cheese," she said. "You look like someone who hasn't had breakfast since last week." Jordan chuckled softly. "You're not wrong." Later that day, Tasha introduced him to a man named Mr. Douglas, who ran a small real estate cleaning service. "We need someone who can help clear old houses," Douglas said. "It's tough work, but it pays weekly." Jordan accepted immediately. That night, he thanked Tasha again. She smiled warmly. "Just promise me something," she said. "What?" "When life starts turning around, don't forget this bridge. Don't forget people still under it." Jordan nodded, gripping the paper bag she'd given him earlier. "I won't," he promised. And in that moment, something inside him shifted. Hunger turned into hope. The next week was brutal. Jordan's hands bled from pulling out old nails and scrubbing moldy walls. But he didn't complain. Every dollar earned meant progress. He saved every cent, slept at the shelter, and refused to go back to the bridge. At night, he watched videos on real estate renovation using an old donated phone. He read articles, took notes, and learned about flipping houses. The more he read, the more a quiet fire grew in him. Tasha noticed his dedication. One evening, she brought him a notebook. "I see the way you study those videos," she said. "Write your goals down. You'll get there." Jordan grinned. You really believe I can? She smiled. I wouldn't have learned your name if I didn't. Weeks passed. Mr. Douglas promoted him to supervisor after he organized the team better than anyone. Jordan's leadership caught attention, especially from one man who often visited the sites, Andre Collins, a sharp-dressed real estate investor who owned half of downtown properties. You've got hustle, Andre told him one afternoon. Ever thought of doing more than cleaning? Jordan replied carefully. All the time, sir. Andre chuckled. Keep that fire. Maybe someday I'll let you shadow me. Jordan smiled politely, but in his heart, he made a silent vow. One day, I won't shadow you. I'll rival you. One rainy Monday, Mr. Douglas got a call from Andre. Got a cleanup job nobody wants, he said. Old property in South Fulton. Full of junk and rats. Pays double. Jordan volunteered before anyone else. I'll take it, he said. The house was a disaster. Broken windows, rotted floors, graffiti on walls. But Jordan saw something others didn't, potential. He worked tirelessly, even after hours, fixing small things with tools he borrowed. He spent 2 extra nights cleaning it beyond what was required. When Andre came to inspect, he was shocked. You did all this? He asked. Jordan nodded. Yes, sir. Figured it might help raise the property's value. Andre studied him for a moment. You think like an investor. Jordan smiled faintly. Maybe one day I'll be one. That night, Jordan stood outside the cleaned house, rain falling on his shoulders. It wasn't his property, but it felt like his first victory. He whispered, one step at a time. The next day, Andre called him again. How'd you like to help me manage a few flips? I'll pay more, and you'll learn real business. Jordan's heart raced. I'd be honored, sir. Good, Andre replied. Let's see if that brain of yours matches your work ethic. Little did Jordan know, this partnership would soon test him in ways he never imagined. Over the next few months, Jordan worked directly under Andre Collins. He learned fast, from property scouting to negotiating with contractors. He studied every contract, asked smart questions, and started noticing things Andre didn't want him to see: hidden fees, false appraisals, shady side deals. One afternoon, he approached Andre. Sir, about the Pinecrest deal, the numbers don't add up. Andre laughed. You're sharp. But don't worry about that. Just do your part. Jordan frowned. I just thought maybe. Don't think too much, Andre cut in. You're not ready for that level. The words stung. Jordan stayed silent, but inside, he was already planning his exit. Meanwhile, Tasha kept checking on him. How's the fancy business world? She teased. Jordan smiled. Stressful, but I'm learning. You still keeping your promise? She asked. Every weekend, he replied. I bring food to the bridge. That night, he visited Mama D, an older homeless woman who once gave him her blanket. She smiled when she saw him. You got that city shine now, boy. Jordan laughed. Not yet, Mama D. But soon. He didn't know that Andre was watching him, and didn't like seeing one of his protégés becoming too smart for his liking. Jordan saved enough to buy a small rundown house on the outskirts of Atlanta. He used all his savings, $15,000, and every spare hour after work to fix it. He painted, repaired, and designed every corner himself. Tasha helped with decorations, laughing. You're acting like it's a mansion. It's not, Jordan said, smiling. But it's mine. The next morning, he started over, with nothing but his skills and his name. The betrayal became Jordan's fire. He spent the next year rebuilding slowly. He registered his own company, Phoenix Estates LLC, inspired by Rising from Ashes. Tasha became his first investor, putting in her savings. You helped others rise, she told him. Now let someone believe in you. They started small, old duplexes, mobile homes, anything they could afford. Jordan's honesty and reputation for fair deals spread across Atlanta. When people learned his story, from homeless man to entrepreneur, the community rallied around him. By 2025, Phoenix Estates had 5 employees and 3 ongoing projects. Jordan personally hired 2 men from the same shelter he once lived in. No background checks, he said. Just show me your will to work. One afternoon, as he oversaw construction on a new property, a sleek car pulled up. Andre Collins stepped out, looking older and thinner. Heard you made it big, he said quietly. Jordan kept his eyes on the building. You taught me a lot, mostly what not to do. Andre chuckled bitterly. You're not still mad, are you? Jordan turned to him. No. You were my test. And I passed. Andre nodded slowly, ashamed. Maybe you can let me work with you again? Jordan's silence said everything. After a long pause, he replied, I only build with people I trust. That day, Andre drove away. Jordan didn't gloat, he just smiled, whispering, the bridge didn't break me. It built me. With success came purpose. Jordan told Tasha one evening over dinner, I want to build something for people like us, a shelter that feels like home. Tasha's eyes sparkled. You mean, like a real housing center? Exactly, Jordan said. Not just beds, mentorship, jobs, and training. He met with city officials, used his growing wealth, and launched the Jefferson Hope Project, named after the same bridge where his story began. The first building opened on a sunny Saturday. Cameras flashed as Jordan stood at the podium. 2 years ago, he said into the microphone, I slept under a bridge not far from here. Tonight, others will sleep under a roof because someone believed in me. The crowd clapped. Tears filled Tasha's eyes. Mama D, now living comfortably in one of the rooms, waved from her wheelchair. Later, a journalist named Zoe Carter interviewed him. People call you the real estate miracle man. What drives you? Jordan smiled. Pain, he said simply. Pain can destroy you or build you. I chose the second. That interview went viral, inspiring thousands across the country. Jordan didn't care about fame. He cared that one more person under a bridge might whisper, if he made it, maybe I can too. Years passed, but Jordan never stopped visiting the Jefferson Bridge. Some nights he'd sit quietly with the homeless, sharing food, listening to their stories. He never told them who he was unless they asked. One evening, a young man named Terrence approached him. You Jordan Johnson? The guy who owns Phoenix Estates. Jordan nodded with a soft grin. Guilty. Terrence looked embarrassed. I've been sleeping out here for months. I wanna work, man. I just need a chance. Jordan handed him a card. Come to the shelter tomorrow. Tell them I sent you. Terrence blinked. You serious? Jordan smiled. I used to be you. Now it's my turn to open doors. The next morning, Jordan stood on the terrace of his newest project, a glass high-rise overlooking Atlanta's skyline. He thought of Tasha, who was now his wife and partner. He thought of Mama D, who passed away peacefully last year, whispering, keep lifting others. He whispered into the wind, I will. Down below, the city pulsed with life, the same city that once ignored him. Now, his name was on its buildings, his story in its heart. Jordan Johnson, the man who once slept under a bridge, was now building homes for thousands. He looked at the horizon and smiled. The streets taught me survival, he said softly, but grace taught me how to live. And with that, he walked back into his office, not as the man he used to be, but as the man he was meant to become.